Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about code breaking the Indus language. We're still in Unit 2 on First Civilizations. You should have already completed your first 5. If not, you'll move to that station later. But you're going to think about how we figured out the meaning of other ancient languages. And today we're going to focus specifically on the Indus language and how somebody might be able to make observations to understand it. First, some announcements. Welcome back from the break. We'll be wrapping up Unit 2, Early Civilizations, before student-led conferences and fall break, which means we have 5 lessons and an end of unit quiz between now and next Friday. So today we'll focus on code breaking and daily life. Hopefully most people will be able to fit in 2 lessons because they're both pretty short. Tomorrow we'll have a practice quiz on the Indus Valley that'll be on Canvas. Next week on Monday, we'll start with your Unit 2 study guide. So you'll get to review all of Unit 2 and remember everything we've done so far. Tuesday, we'll do a vocabulary review. And then next Thursday will actually be the Unit 2 quiz. And Friday will be a makeup work day. And then after that, in 2 weeks, we have conferences, student-led conferences, more conferences, and then you're on break. If you have any questions about this, or if we need to get an artifact for your conference, I'll be checking in with you individually during class. Remember, with this calendar, this is what most people will do. But you might work ahead or you might need a little more time. So if that's the case, then we'll shift your quiz either to be a little earlier in the week, like Tuesday, or to be on Friday instead of Thursday. So during this lesson, and actually during this week, you're practicing learning how to write claims, make inferences, and use evidence. That's a skill we've been working on all unit. And also, specifically today, you're going to be looking at primary sources. And so you'll think about how you could make a claim using a primary source. I think some of you might think, who cares about the Indus Valley civilization? But I do want you to know that just now in 2025, this past January, the Chief Minister of Southern India's Tamil Nadu state recently announced a $1 million prize for anyone who can crack the Indus Valley civilization language, which is what we're going to talk about today. So I hope that gives you some motivation. Maybe it could be you. Remember, last week and into this week, we're focusing our attention on the Indus River Valley civilization, otherwise known as ancient India. Now, most of you already took your guided notes on this in the previous lesson, which would be 2.17. But if you did not get these notes, you're going to want to look at this section here that describes to you when the Indus Valley civilization existed, where it was built, and where that is today. Remember, ancient India had all the necessary characteristics of a civilization. These 7 characteristics are a big focus for us this unit, and I'll give you a hint. They will be included on your work this week and on the quiz. So remember, that's a stable food supply, arts, religion, social hierarchy, which is kind of represented by this pyramid, where different groups of people have more or less power depending on their social group. Government, written language, which we'll focus on today, and technology. The main reason why we are able to translate ancient texts is because of multilingual artifacts like the Rosetta Stone shown here. Multilingual means many or multiple, really, languages. So the Rosetta Stone, which is from 196 before the Common Era, BCE, shows an inscription of the same law in 3 different languages. So you can kind of see here. At the top, it's one language. In the middle, it's another one. And at the bottom, it's another one. And it's all saying the same thing. So it has hieroglyphs, Demotic, and Ancient Greek. And because scholars knew how to read Ancient Greek at the time of discovery of the Rosetta Stone in the 1800s, they were able to break the code of the hieroglyphs from ancient Egypt. So that was a huge breakthrough for historians, and historians are still hoping to find something similar for the Indus Valley civilization's language. So, it's important for you to know before you start your activity today that the written language of the Indus River Valley civilization is still a big mystery to historians. Despite many attempts, the Indus script has not yet been deciphered or translated into a language we understand because there are no bilingual texts. We do, however, know a few things about it. The first thing is it's read from right to left like other Semitic languages or languages in that same area. Historians estimate there are over 694 distinct signs. And archaeologists have discovered around, this little symbol means around, 4,000 objects with the script, many of them rectangular stamped seals, like this one shown in the picture here. Most signs are pictorial, which means showing an object, but there are also abstract signs, which are up here. There's the pictorial example, and here's the abstract signs, which could be numbers. Abstract signs are more similar to our alphabet, while pictorial are signs that look like what they represent. Now, you'll have a chance when you move to a different station to do a table talk activity with some friends, and you're going to discuss what are at least 2 characteristics of civilization you see in this image on the right. You'll also have a chance to visit the brain break station, and you'll talk about what you'll do with what would you do with a school-free afternoon. We don't actually have after school today. And your collaborative activity today is called code breaking. You're going to work with your group to try to decipher or interpret the Indus script seal on each seal. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So you'll draw 2 simple images of 2 seals. So you would do basically your own drawing to represent each of these images. You can choose between these 4 options, which ones you'll do. You'll make 1 observation about each seal and 1 inference based on your observation. So we're still practicing these same skills of making an observation and making an inference, and you'll have sentence starters on your daily sheet to help you out with those. Remember that the people of the Indus River Valley civilization read from right to left, which is the opposite of English. So just keep that in mind. And one more announcement. I'm going to start doing tutoring Tuesdays, so I will be available for tutoring on Tuesdays. You can come to my classroom, 217, on Tuesday mornings, during lunch on Tuesdays, or after school on Tuesdays to go over binder checks, get help with missing work, or learn more about world history in general. I'm catching up with grades right now, so check Student View to see if you're missing the first binder check of quarter 2. If so, that's a great idea to come to tutoring. You can also review any lessons you missed on Canvas through these posted video lessons. And remember, if you don't finish your work today, I recommend that you work on it as homework. You can take more time in this new model with videos, but you don't want to fall so far behind that you're not able to take a quiz, for example, before the break. All right, have a great time working and collaborating with your peers at the other stations.